like I say, I've already done most of this before I started doing YouTube, so this is what we got. So you'll see this on my YouTube shorts, a few snapshots of how it was built. This is a pretty neat fit. So anyway, we'll leave that on just for the purpose of this. So what I'll do is I have this, I've got an actual solid chrome bar again that's the same diameter as this axle tube, which I put those pucks on, clamp the centre in, and you'll see on the shorts, if you go to my shorts, one of my shorts, there's a or, you know, there'll be a link anyway. This faceplate then gets bolted to the diff centre, which gives it the correct spacing from the centre of the axle, which is what you want. Then I fabricated, you know, my drain plug, the bottom of the diff housing, out about 16mm, so that I could recess the drain plug in there without, you know, any damage. Then made up these bits coming down, just with, I use CAD, of course, cardboard aided design. You'll see some of that in the shorts. Yeah, I'm working my way out to here. Then manufactured. But I still haven't welded up the inside. The inside's got to be all cut. I mean, ground out and welded. But when the diff centre was bolted in with an old, you'll see photos, it's got an old rusty diff centre with a rusty crown wheel and that in it. I put that in, bent up a piece of wire the shape to clear the crown wheel, and then got this bit of flat bar, put in the press, pressed it to the shape, trimmed it all up, tacked it to the, once I'd made this half of the pumpkin, tacked it to there, and then with cardboard made all my pieces come in from each, you know, come down, fish mouthed them around the tube, and that's how I done that. But the important bit is getting that centre in there and getting it central on the chrome bar, because this pipe can be crooked or have a slight bend in it, you know, from factory, but when you're using, you know, chrome bar, you're generally pretty good. So that's how that was done. Then I've got bits cut out that'll fit around this tube. They've been split and they'll be welded in here to the back of this plate as a support when I cut, you know, I'll cut this tube off. Same there. Then these will be put on the shaft will be back in, they'll be slid up there on the shaft once I know what length, where me, you know, whereabouts I've got to have me pinion coming out of the diff centre. So my pinion will be down low because for 9-inch. Then and then I'll use these pucks in here to, you know, centralise my axle tube so that then they're pretty straight. Clamp them in like I did before. Clamp that. Clamp the, you know, force it that way. Clamp it, and that tube will be running true. If it's got a little bend in it or whatever, it won't matter because the axle will run straight down the centre and it will be going centre down the thing. So yeah, a little bit to it, but it's pretty simple. So yeah, let's do it. Righto, so what we do here is a little bit of setup. spindles bolted. We'll get these spindles bolted in. Now, just to get me pinion, I've marked this side of the beam. I've measured everything up. Like you just take measurements off original diff housing. Because the 9-inch pinion sits in a different position than the Toyota one. I'm just lining up the centre of the pinion. So I'll just load this in here for a minute. Right, so I'll get this shaft here in line with my mark on the that's going to be fun. Jam that cone in the end of that pipe to centre that on the shaft. I'll just put a couple of tacks on it so we've got it. That's central. It's all lined up, that's good. A bit better earth. That is perfect. These inner axle tubes can be like this, doesn't matter as long as that shaft, this, and yeah, as long as that shaft and these spindles are all in line here, that tube, they can be wonky, but as you see, I've taken the trouble to straighten them up, make them good, because it just, yeah, makes life easier. That one's in there. This one just bound up a little bit. I've got a little flat spot on them so that they clear the front face of the diff centre. So I'll just double check that. Good. So because we're welding upside down, that is it. Shifter, that ratchet. Righto. Turn that chrome bar alright, pretty good. So that's good. Pop this out so I don't fall on my feet. Keep turning that shaft to see that, yeah, if you can't turn it, you're in trouble. You make sure you get no BBs on this side, because the seal runs on here. So I'll just give that a grind out and another weld, because I was building that little bit up. Grind these tacks back a bit and weld them on. I can probably, for now, I'll let this go. We'll see what happens. Oh, hasn't even pulled. That's nice. I amaze me sometimes. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So I grind out a few of these shitty ones, upside down tacks. Just a little bit of a burr on them. Won't matter because they're getting covered up, but yeah, you want to look good. If it breaks in half or something. But yeah, still got to be able to turn that shaft. God, it's clean. Apparently it's required. So whatever I do on one side, I'm trying to do on the other, so that this bar keeps turning. Crap. Oh, she's tightening up. Oh no, she's not too bad. It's a bit tight, but we'll get most of that out. Get it freed up again. Oh, it still fits. And that's still sitting. Yeah. So that's pretty good through there. It's starting to look like a diff. I better quit while I'm ahead. So that's how I set that up anyway. So I'll let that cool down. Then I'll come back to it and do a bit more tacking. Just, yeah, don't let it get too hot. Distort is the main thing. Take your time. So it's pulling a little bit now because that's getting harder to turn. But oh, loose in there. Anyway, I'll put these bolts back in because that's heavy. So is that, that's heavy. Right. That's not too bad. I'll just turn yours around, show yours. Yeah, this is where we're at. We're just sort of give her a bit of a bead around there. Give that tidy up. Same sort of thing. Just bead, a few tacks. Just when it cools down, I'll come back and give it another go. Yeah, anyway, that's all for now.